Hello, friend. Welcome to History ZZZ. Get comfortable. Let your body settle into wherever you are resting. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Take one slow breath in and let it go. Tonight, I'm going to put you somewhere specific. Not a battlefield, not a throne room, not a place of great violence or great discovery. Tonight, I'm going to put you to bed on a ship, the largest ship ever built. The most celebrated, the most luxurious. A vessel so well engineered, so perfectly constructed that the word used to describe it has passed into permanent myth, unsinkable. The RMS Titanic, April 14th, 1912. You are here, you are safe, you are going to sleep. Let the story begin. 5 days ago, you stood on the dock at Southampton and looked up. She was so large that she did not look real. 882 feet long, 11 stories tall from keel to funnel top, 46,000 tons of steel, 3 propellers, each one larger than a house, 4 funnels rising into the gray English sky like cathedral towers. The hull painted black to the waterline, white above, red below the sea. A crowd of 10,000 people had come just to watch her leave. As the tugs pulled her out into Southampton water, you stood at the rail and felt the engines begin, a low vibration you felt in your chest before you heard it with your ears. A deep, steady hum, the hum that has been with you ever since. Even now, lying in your cabin, you can feel it. The gentle, constant pulse of the engines far below, like a heartbeat. Like the ship itself is breathing. The crossing has been extraordinary. Day 1, the coast of England fading behind you, green and gray, the sun on the Irish Sea, a stop at Queenstown for final passengers, small white buildings on the Irish cliffs, then open ocean, the Atlantic. You have crossed before on older ships, but nothing like this. On the Titanic, you do not feel the sea. You feel a building, a hotel. The motion is so slight, so gentle, that you keep forgetting you are moving at all. Day 2. Sunshine on dark water, the swimming bath, a game of shuffleboard on the boat deck, soup brought to your deck chair by a steward in a white jacket who appeared, it seemed, from nowhere. Day 3. Cold. The air changed overnight, carrying something harder and more northern in it. You stayed indoors. The reading room, the lounge, tea and conversation, and the novel you have been meaning to finish for months. Day 4. Today, which is nearly over now, you are almost there. Your stateroom is on B deck. You unlocked the door tonight and stood in the doorway for a moment, as you have done every night, simply to appreciate it. A real bed, not a bunk, not a berth, but a proper bed with a white iron headboard and sheets that have been turned down by your steward. A lamp on the bedside table, a wardrobe with brass handles, a small writing desk by the porthole, a fireplace, even a small electric fireplace, glowing orange and warm. Through the porthole, the North Atlantic, black water, black sky, stars so dense and bright that the horizon seems to glow. No moon tonight. The captain mentioned it at dinner, a moonless night on a calm sea. Unusual, he said, for this time of year. Usually there is some chop, but tonight the Atlantic is like glass. You change into your night clothes. You sit on the edge of the bed. The ship hums quietly around you. Dinner tonight was, by any measure, the finest meal of your life. You came down at 7 o'clock, the dining saloon already alive, women in silk and diamonds, men in white tie and black, the room lit by hundreds of electric lights reflecting off white tablecloths. Oysters to start, then cream of barley soup, salmon with cucumber sauce, lamb with mint jelly, roasted squab on watercress, peaches in chartreuse jelly, chocolate-painted eclairs, wine, of course. Several bottles, shared and reshared along the table. The conversation was light, people in good spirits anticipating arrival, New York by Wednesday morning if the weather holds. Afterward, the smoking room, a whiskey, cards. Then, perhaps an hour ago now, you excused yourself. You were simply tired. The good tired. The tired that comes after excellent food and easy company and 4 days of sea air. You are ready to sleep. Outside your porthole, the North Atlantic stretches without end. You have been watching it from the bed, not looking, watching. The way you watch a fire. It is the deepest dark you have ever seen. On land, there is always some light, a street lamp, a window, the glow of a city somewhere beyond the hill. But out here, 40 miles south of the shipping lanes, there is nothing, just stars and black water. They told you, when you first came aboard, that the ocean here is 2.5 miles deep, 2.5 miles of cold black water beneath you, 2.5 miles to the bottom, and yet you feel nothing but safe, because you are on the Titanic, because the hull is 3 inches of steel, because the ship is divided into 16 watertight compartments, any 4 of which can flood completely without affecting her buoyancy. She was designed to float no matter what. You close your eyes. The ship speaks, if you know how to listen. Not words, not sounds exactly, but a language of vibration and rhythm that has become over 4 days as familiar as your own heartbeat. Far below, 6 decks below where you are lying, the 3 engines turn. 29 boilers, each one the size of a house. 162 furnaces. 600 stokers feeding coal into the flames, hour after hour through the day and night. You feel none of that down here. What you feel is only the result, a gentle, steady vibration transmitted upward through the steel of the hull, into the frame of the ship, into the walls of your cabin, into the mattress beneath you. A hum, constant, low, deeply regular. It is, you have discovered, the finest sleeping aid you have ever known. Better than any country air, better than any warm milk. The ship's engines, doing their work, carrying you across the ocean while you sleep. Above you, through the porthole, the stars wheel slowly. The ship is traveling west-southwest toward New York at roughly 22 knots, which means the stars appear to drift very slightly northward as the night passes. So slowly you cannot see it happening, only notice after an hour that the configuration has changed. You know almost none of their names. The bright one directly above, that is likely Capella. The cluster to the south, the smudge like scattered salt. The Pleiades, 7 sisters, though you can only count 6. They have all been there before. Above every ship that ever crossed this ocean, above the Norsemen 1,000 years ago, above Columbus, above the slave ships and the merchant ships and the warships and the fishing boats, the same stars, the same ocean, the same cold. You watch them for a while, those stars. Then you pull the blanket higher and close your eyes. Somewhere in this ship, 2,200 other people are doing the same, settling in, finding sleep, or trying to. Above you on a deck, the Astors. John Jacob Astor, one of the richest men in the world, and his young wife Madeline, 18 years old and 5 months pregnant. They boarded at Cherbourg after their honeymoon in Egypt. Tonight they are in stateroom C62, the finest suite on the ship. Somewhere below, in second class, a school teacher from Cornwall traveling to visit her sister in Toronto. She has been writing letters all day, anxious and excited. Below her, in third class, families from Ireland and Lebanon and Sweden, packed into smaller berths, dreaming of cities they have never seen. Chicago, Boston, New York. And in the crew quarters deep in the bow, the stokers and stewards and engineers, sleeping in shifts, the ship too busy to ever stop completely. 2,224 souls. All of them, like you, carried westward across the dark ocean while the engines hum. On the bridge, high above you, First Officer William Murdoch has just come on watch. Captain Smith retired an hour ago at 9:30 after a dinner party in his honor hosted by the American millionaire George Widner. He gave his orders to Murdoch and went to his quarters. Murdoch stands at the center of the bridge and looks forward into the dark. The sea is extraordinary tonight. He has never seen it so flat. Not a wave, not a swell, just a black mirror stretching to the horizon. In the crow's nest, 40 feet above the bridge, lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee stamp their feet against the cold. They scan the darkness ahead. No binoculars tonight. They were left in Southampton by mistake. They are watching with their naked eyes. But you do not know any of this. You are in your cabin. You are warm. You are almost asleep. The temperature has been dropping all day. At noon it was 43 degrees on the boat deck. By 6 o'clock, 39. By 9:32. The radio room has been busy with ice warnings. 7 separate warnings from other ships today alone. The America, the Californian, the Baltic, the Mesaba. Ice ahead. Bergs reported in the lanes. The Titanic adjusted course slightly south this morning. Standard procedure. Cautious enough. And anyway, everyone agrees, even if there were ice, the ship could see it from miles away on a clear night like this. The sea is so calm, the stars so bright. You do not know about the ice warnings. What you know is that your cabin is warm. The small fireplace glows. The blanket is heavy and soft. Outside it may be freezing. In here you cannot feel it. You can still hear it faintly. The orchestra played in the first-class reception room until 10 o'clock. Waltzes, popular songs, a few hymns near the end as the crowd thinned. 8 musicians in white jackets working through their repertoire with professional ease. They are finishing now, packing their instruments, talking quietly about tomorrow night, the final performance before docking. But you can still hear it in your memory, lying here. The strings, the easy rhythm of a waltz. Music on a ship has a particular quality. The walls carry it differently than any concert hall. It mingles with the engine hum. It disappears into the soft rush of water along the hull. You find yourself breathing with it even now, slow, easy. The rhythm of the waltz, your body getting heavier, the music fading, sleep coming. This is the moment just before sleep. You know it well, or you used to before your life became complicated, before there was too much to think about. But out here, it comes easily. The sea has a way of quieting the mind. There is nothing you need to do, no appointments to keep, no problems to solve. The ship will carry you while you sleep. The engines will keep turning. The officers will keep watch. All you have to do is let go. Your hands are relaxed. Your shoulders are sinking into the mattress. Your breathing is slow, long, automatic, the engine hum beneath you, the stars turning slowly overhead, the ship moving through the dark. Let go. While you sleep, let me tell you what you do not know. You do not know that in 1 hour and 40 minutes, at 23 minutes to midnight, lookout Frederick Fleet will see something in the darkness ahead. He will ring the bell 3 times, the signal for an object dead ahead, and telephone the bridge with the words, "Iceberg right ahead." Officer Murdoch will order, "Hard a starboard." He will ring down to the engine room, "Full astern." For 37 seconds, the Titanic will try to turn. She is not quick enough. What happens next is not an explosion, not a collision, something much quieter. The iceberg brushes the starboard side, a shudder, a grinding sound that most passengers sleep through entirely. You will feel a slight vibration, and then stillness, and then the engines will stop. but that is 1 hour and 40 minutes from now. Right now, there is only the hum. Let me tell you about the men who built her. In Belfast, at the Harland and Wolff shipyard, 15,000 workers spent 3 years building the Titanic. The keel was laid in March 1909. She was launched without ceremony in May 1911, a hull, not yet a ship, sliding into the River Lagan to the sound of running grease and the cheers of the crowd. 3 million rivets in her hull, each one driven in by hand in teams of 4, 1 man to heat the rivet, 1 to catch it, 1 to hold it, 1 to drive it. They worked in shifts, winter and summer, under a skeleton of steel that gradually became the largest moving object ever built by human hands. The men who built her were proud of her. Some of them are on her now, engineers and workers who came along for the maiden voyage to see their creation in motion. She is, by every measure they understood, perfect. She is their masterpiece. You are thinking, in that drifting way of almost sleep, about New York. You have been there before, years ago. The harbor with the statue, the streets broader than any in London, louder too, more chaotic in a way that felt unexpectedly alive. You have people to see there, business of a kind, the usual arrangements. Wednesday morning, 72 hours from now. The ship will move through the Narrows in the early light, the skyline emerging from the gray. The harbor full of other ships, the air full of gulls. You are thinking about that arrival, the particular pleasure of a harbor after open ocean, the land appearing solid and green and real after days of nothing but water. New York, almost there. But first, sleep. The water moves past your hull at 22 knots. You cannot hear it from your cabin. It is swallowed by the engines, by the thickness of the hull. But it is there, the North Atlantic parting around your bow, rolling back in 2 white furrows, then closing again behind you as though the ship had never passed. The ocean doesn't notice you. It is 4,000 meters deep here in places. Down there, in the abyssal dark, creatures that have never seen light go about their patient lives. Temperature near freezing, pressure crushing, complete and permanent darkness. And above them, this thin skin of steel, this warmth, this electric light, this bubble of civilization drifting across the surface. The ocean is patient, but right now it is also perfectly calm, and that hum, that constant, steady hum, like the ship is breathing with you. In the wireless room, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride are busy with messages. The Marconi wireless is the most powerful at sea. It can reach 1,400 miles, and the wealthy passengers have been using it enthusiastically, sending personal messages back to England, receiving news of the stock market and family affairs. The 2 young wireless operators have barely slept since Southampton. The queue of messages is never empty. Earlier this evening, the Californian tried to reach them. Another ship stopped for the night in an ice field 30 miles north. Her signal was so strong it nearly broke Phillips' eardrums. "Keep out," he telegraphed back. "I am busy with commercial traffic." The Californian's operator, irritated, switched off his set and went to bed. None of this reaches you. You are beyond reach tonight. Just you and the ship and the dark ocean, already almost asleep. History will remember them in fragments. Molly Brown, who had made her money in Colorado silver, who will take over a lifeboat by sheer force of personality and spend the night keeping her oarsmen rowing to stay warm. Charles Jukin, the ship's baker, who will drink steadily as the ship goes down and then tread water for 2 hours in 31-degree ocean and survive because of it, or despite it. The musicians, all 8 of them, who will play on the deck as the water rises, not required to, not asked to, simply because it seemed like the right thing to do. The last song anyone heard them play has been disputed for 100 years. Autumn, Nearer My God to Thee, a waltz. No one agrees. What is known, they played until the deck tilted too far to stand. But you do not know any of this yet. Right now there is only the warmth and the hum, the easy, slow breathing of near sleep. She will take 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink. That is a long time, long enough for most people to wake, to understand what is happening, to find a lifeboat or not find one. 710 people will survive. 1,500 will not. The sea temperature is 28 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree below freezing. In water that cold, a person loses consciousness in 15 minutes. At 2:20 in the morning, the stern rises completely clear of the water. 4 stories of ship, straight up, silhouetted against the stars. Then she goes, straight down, quickly. At 2:20 a.m., she is gone. After 2:20 a.m., there is only the ocean. She will rest on the bottom for 73 years before anyone finds her, 2.5 miles down in the dark. But you are not there yet. You are here, in your cabin, warm, and the time right now is 10 o'clock, and everything is fine. 2.5 miles below where you are floating tonight, the future waits. In 1985, a man named Robert Ballard will find her. He will send cameras down through the dark water and see the bow still intact, resting in the mud, coral and rust growing over everything. The china will still be in the cabinets. The wine bottles will still be in the racks. The safe in the purser's office will still be locked. The shoes. What the cameras find, scattered across the ocean floor in pairs, are shoes. Everything else has been dissolved by the sea, but leather shoes survive, and so the bottom is marked with them, each pair showing where a person came to rest. This is what the future holds for this ship. But the future is the future, and you are in the present, the warm present. 10 o'clock on the evening of April 14, 1912. You have nothing to do but rest. The hum. It has been with you since Southampton. It will be with you all night. Low, steady, coming up through the ship itself, through the steel and the wood and the mattress and into you. The engines are 29 boilers burning 325 tons of coal a day. They are 6 stories below you, turning shafts as thick as trees, driving propellers as wide as houses, pushing 46,000 tons of steel through the Atlantic at 22 knots. And what reaches you at the end of all that force is just this, a hum, soft, constant, patient. Like a lullaby, the ship is singing to itself. Listen to it. Let it carry you. There is nowhere else to be tonight, nothing else to do. The ship knows the way. Sleep now. You are asleep now. The Titanic moves through the dark. The stars wheel overhead. The North Atlantic for this hour is perfectly still. In 1 hour and 40 minutes, everything will change, but not yet. Right now, all is well. The engines hum, the ship breathes, the stars reflect on the water, and you, in your warm cabin on B deck, on the largest ship ever built, in the middle of the cold black Atlantic, you are sleeping, deeply, peacefully, safe. History's easy. Sleep well, friend. Sleep well.